Hi everyone, welcome back. Today we are solving longest balance subarray 1. So we'll be given an integer array called nums, and a subarray will be considered balanced if the number of distinct even numbers is equal to the number of distinct odd numbers, and want to return the longest balanced subarray. So in this example, the whole array has 2 even and 2 odds, so we can return 4. This example, it has 2 distinct even numbers and 2 distinct odd numbers, and the length of that is 5, so we can return 5. In this example, the longest balanced subarray would be this because it has 1 distinct even and 1 distinct odd, and the length of that is 3, so we will return 3 as our result. So now that we have seen some examples, let's get to how we can solve this problem. So to solve this problem, we will first initialize the result variable to 0, and then we will iterate through the array. We will use a left and right pointer. So first we will iterate through the left, and for each left, we will check from left to the end of array, and we will use the right pointer to iterate from the left to the end. And what we'll do for each iteration here is that we will set up an odd and even set in the beginning, and as we iterate through from left to end, we will add the numbers to their respective sets while iterating, depending on if the number is odd or even. And each time we add a new number, we want to check if the length of even is equal to the length of odd. If it is, then we will update the result if right minus left minus 1, which would be the size of the subarray, is larger than the current result. And finally, in the very end, we can return result. So let's go through this example real quick. So left and right both start here. Add 2 to even, add 5 to odd, and the length of this subarray is 2, and we can update result because these two are equal length. Add 4 to even and add 3 to odd, and we can update the result to 4 because these two sets have the same length. So now we will look at 5 as a left pointer, and actually we can end the problem here if we want, and the condition for that is if result is larger than the length of the array minus the left pointer. 4 minus 1, which is 3, is less than 4, so we can actually end it here, but it doesn't hurt to continue. So I will show the code for both in the coding part. It's just one extra line that we have to add to end the problem, but if we were to continue it, then it would look something like this. Add 5, add 4, and then add 3 to odd, and then for 4 we will add 4 and add 3, and then for the last one we will add 3, but the result would be 4 either way. So the time complexity would be O of n squared, where n is the number of elements in the array. Not only will have to iterate through each element, but for each element we will have to iterate through all the elements to the right of it, so that's why it's n squared. And the space complexity would be O of n because the even and odd set can take up to n space. So now let's get to the coding part. So first we'll initialize result to 0, then we will iterate the left pointer. So for left in range length of nums minus 1, and we'll set up an even set and an odd set. And now we will iterate the right pointer. So for right in range left to length of nums, check the number is even. If it is, we will add it to the even set. Otherwise, we add it to the odd set. Otherwise, we add to odd set. And we'll check if it's even by dividing by 2 and see if the remainder is 0 or 1. If it's 0, it's even. If the remainder is 1, then it's odd. Now we'll check the length of even and the length of odd is the same. If it is, then we can check the result and see if we want to update it. So result will now be the max between the current result, or right minus left plus 1. And finally, we can return result, and we can end the problem faster if the length of nums minus the left pointer is less than the result. If that's the case, then we can break or return the result, but I'll just do break. Okay, let's see if it works. Okay, perfect. Hope this was helpful. Thank you all for watching. If you have any other questions or comments, feel free to leave them in the comment section, and I hope to see you all again soon.